Sound check. All right. Okay. My apologies for the difficult sound system we got going on here. All right. But theoretically the sound is working now. So we're going to be good. This is a rough one, but hey, the house shouldn't be that complicated to frame. So that's good news for everybody. All right. Welcome everyone to Frame It Fridays. Oh my goodness. Right in the chat, we got Centurion54X. What's up, my guy? How's it going? Hope you're having a good Friday. It's approaching Halloween and there's lots of traffic on the road. I'm in a college town, so everyone is always excited to do lots of fun partying stuff. And LSU is actually going to be in town in College Station tomorrow. So just everyone's excited for football and stuff. So yeah, things are crazy. But more importantly, tonight, we're going to be framing this house with some markers and a scale that is somewhere in this room that I'm going to locate for you guys. Wow. One moment. Oh, I know. I was going to set up Frame It Fridays on my other desk is what I was trying to do, and it did not get done. And so we're back to the normal desk. But what happened was I moved my scale over there. So here we are. We're ready. Shout out also to the Green Observer who is observing here greenly. It is good to have you, Mr. Green Observer. Let's talk framing. All right. Well, brief intro for those that don't know who I am. Guys, my name is Sam Stevenson. I was a structural engineer, civil engineer, and now I draw plans because it pays good money and I help people build houses and it gives me control over my life and all those things. And so I'm going to show you guys how I used to do the framing layouts on houses while I was a structural engineer with highlighters. Same thing. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to take loads that are up high. We're going to put them through various framing members, whether they're beams or posts or studs or whatever. We're going to take those loads and the gravity, weight, and all the materials and all the stuff we put in houses. We're going to get those loads safely into the foundation. That's what we're doing. So we start from the roof plan. Before we talk about the roof plan, let's get a look at what this house is like. Okay. So we got garage, porch, back porch, house. Fairly simple. All right. We got the roof plan. We got a single gable running down the whole house. We've got a small gable over the garage. We got a gable over here, and then a shed roof over this back porch. Should be fairly easy stuff today, guys. And here's what the outside looks like. All right, so front, it's got this gable look vaulted ceiling. We'll pay attention to that. See, we can see the siding. That's vaulted. All right, how are we doing here? And that's pretty regular stuff going on. We're going to want to pay attention to the different plate heights. It looks like there's 10-foot plate heights all the way around, actually. Oh, 8-foot header height. Yes, the whole thing's 10-foot plate heights. So that's good to know. All right. So roof plans first. What are we concerned with here? We are concerned definitely with this ridge. That's definitely a ridge we got to hold up. And this is going to be overstack, overframe right here. Because what I did when I designed this house is I started this roof plane and this roof plane are based on this front wall and this rear wall. So I'm gonna stack those as real, and then I'm gonna overframe on top of that. So that's what we're gonna do. So that makes our job kind of easy when we're thinking about framing, because it's a very simple setup. I might do something different in the garage here because I've got big open space in the garage regardless. So that's what I think I'm doing. So we start from those things. We're going to, let's take a look at our rafters. All right, what are the rafters doing? Okay, so this chunk of roof, this piece of the rafter is going to be a normal traditional rafter. This piece of the rafter is going to go up on top of these rafters. So these are going to go from ridge to wall all the way down. All right, just like that. And we'll go to there, And then we will probably, if this was me, I would just probably stop it in here somewhere and transition to like real valleys and hips for this thing. That's probably what I would do because I got all these walls to use. I would do that, yeah. And I would know that like, okay, I'm gonna have to hold this ridge. It's a real ridge. I'm gonna have to hold it up. So I'll put a beam there. I know I change colors on you guys every week. All right, so rafters are gonna switch right here to doing this down to the real valleys. And then there's gonna be real rafters. These are gonna be real. Actually, this side, I'm gonna go all the way down the wall. And then right here, I'll probably transition and switch. All right, so that would mean I'm gonna put a beam in this room. I'm gonna brace and hold up this ridge, put a brace here, put the weight down on the wall. It's really close, so I know I can reach it. Put the weight down on the wall, put the weight down on the wall right there. And this is over frame, so we're not concerned with its weight. So that's cool. We're good to go there. And I would basically notate that, hey, I'm going to do a bracing, a purlin all the way down this for this front roof plane. Like if the rafter is going to run, the real rafter is actually going to go all the way from here all the way up to here. But I'm going to put a bunch of little blocks in a pony, make a little tiny pony wall looking thing. So I'm basically going to be supporting this dude all the way down this wall. This is very common if you're doing additions onto a house. You add a patio cover or something and the roof does this up onto the existing roof. You add little blocks underneath there as a support point. And we'll just double check that we're not going over 11 feet. And we're not. That's 10 feet. So we're good there. Now, from here up to here, we're going like 15 feet. Plus, we got extra weight from the additional overstack. So we're going to need a purlin line in this place for sure. And we'll just kind of run one basically about in the center. And we're good all the way up to, we're good up to there. So that's fine. So we'll brace here down to the walls. Let's add our brace points down here, brace the wall, brace the wall. I'm very close, so I know I can reach. All right, I don't have anything in here, but somebody put a nice little wall out here, so I would want to put a beam right there because that's a shorter span than everything else. So I'm going to put a beamola crossing the room right there. And that actually allows me to brace my ridge in that location as well. So you would space these dots out at 4 feet on center. That would be the proper thing to do. And these can brace down this way. All right, that's on a wall, that's on a wall. And over here, I brace the wall, brace down the wall, brace down the wall. Ridge is pretty good. I can brace the wall here, brace the wall here, brace the wall here, brace the wall there. All right. So we got that line, that line, that line. That's taken care of. Let's talk this side. I think, man, what would be the preference? I think the preference is going to be to just frame this like real, not overstack, because like the portion of this roof plane that would land on the wall is only this chunk. Everything else, I would need to put a beam, a beam, a beam in order to like land the rafters in the same spot. So yeah, I might as well just push this over, which means I need to support every 4 feet on center down this line. And I also need to probably support that mid-span at the peak. Remember, we're going to go 6 to 8 feet on the hips and valleys. That's 10 feet. So, yep, we need one in the middle. And on the ridges, let's try to do 4 feet on center. Oh, now here's an exception. This is a vaulted ceiling in the front. So we know at the ridge is a beam because it's vaulted. Because the ridge has to hold weight. All right, this is going to be real. This is going to be real, right? We're going to go from the ridge down to the wall because we have a vaulted ceiling in here. So we have to define the ceiling with that. And then this little tiny portion of overlap is going to be overstacked. Nothing crazy going on there. And this is all real. So these will just do this, go into here like that. These will do this super normal roof framing in here, and same, we'll keep it normal in here. Okay, so these are all real hips and valleys. Let's take a look along this line. Oh, we got a wall. Look at that. We got a wall. 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 Yeah, we could probably reach that wall. This one, we're kind of missing stuff. That one, we could reach the wall. That one's on a wall. This, we could probably reach this wall. So I would probably take a beam and go right in here. Stick that guy across those walls. And I'd put the weight down on top of that. And then I'd look over here and I'd see if we are 13 feet. Okay, so I should probably put another purlin line across this, I think. Well, let's see. Yeah, we're overspanned. I don't want to have to add a bunch of beams, so I'm actually going to put a purlin line right here, even though it's pretty close to this, because I've got a wall right below me, and I don't want to have to put more beams out here in the open. So if I just do that, I would be good. Presuming so in this spot right here, I would brace right there, and I would brace right there. I just like skip that one. It's about 4 feet. Okay. On this side, I want to add a purlin line, but I don't have anything in here, so I'm just going to have to probably pick a spot. Let me think about the beams in my garage. Okay. So there's a gable wall right here, which is this guy right here. All right. So what we're seeing is that, hey, at the garage, this side over is all sitting on top of nothing unless we put a beam under it. So what I would probably prefer to do is take a beam and run it right in line with this wall. And I would, oops, I'm over here, roof plan for now. And I'd carry that beam in line with that wall all the way down. That's what I'd probably like to do. And then I can just put all the stuff right on top of that, frame my gable wall up, no big deal. And it gives me another place to put a beam so I can cross the garage. And in this case, I would probably need a hanger to make that connection, or I could set it on top. Either way, I probably got decent amount of height. And we're going to brace this guy down to the beam. That's a gable wall below. This guy is going to need something. It's very short. It's probably going to need a small beam. It's really short because it's only a 212. So there's not very much height in there. So this is basically like some tiny little blocks are going to go in between the beam and this ridge. Basically, that's what's going on in here. So that ridge is held up. That ridge is held up. That gable wall is held up. And I'm probably going to add another beam in here because I do need another purlin support thing. Well, actually, I'm going up the roof, so I've got some height. So I'm going to put it up here. That's my purlin line for the supporting the rafters, and I'm going to go over this wall. That's what I would do. That would take care of that section. So this half, I put the purlin line down low because I had a wall. On this half, I put the purlin line up high because I had a wall up here. So trying to avoid adding beams, and that's overstack, that's real, that's braced. Cool. We're good to go. That takes care of the roof plan. Now, let's copy our beams over. What we're going to do here is we added a beam in the garage ceiling. These are definitely going to need hangers because there's almost no height here. So there's one going down the middle and a little one going here. And then we had one crossing the living room at this wall, which helps us with our ceiling. That's nice. We're probably going to want, well, we got one here for the roof. And this is vaulted, so I wouldn't put a beam in here. There's no ceiling. The ceiling is designed right here. And I had one beam over here. So there's one in the middle above the ceiling. All right. And of course, there's beams doing the patio. Always. That's how we frame the patios. And there's one beam right here. So that would be the official, all the beams, unless we need more for ceiling, which I don't think we're going to, because here's how I'm going to lay out the ceiling. Let's see. We're going to go front to back in this whole zone because that's what the roof is doing over here, front to back. And we're going to go in line, stop on those walls. And porch here is vaulted. This little section will go front to back because it's short. And we'll carry this front to back over to there. And then we'll run front to back through this whole section because it's the shorter span as well. Through these rooms. Might as well cross front to back over here. Same thing through the living room, front to back. And then over here in the garage, everything's running right to left. So I will do the same thing. I'll put ceiling joists in like this. Okay, so these beams are going to be flush with the bottom of the ceiling. And then over here, again, everything is going front to back. So this whole porch is going to have a ceiling doing this. And I might as well run this whole section. And even I could do this whole section is less than 20 feet. So I could do this in single sticks. I would like to do that. Over here, we could go either way. The roof is going right, left. So I'm just going to go right, left. I would either run these straight across and pick the beam up and run these below the beam, or I'd drop the beam down and use hangers and attach these to the beam. Both good ways to do it. Okay, so that takes care of the ceiling joists. All of our spans are going under 14 feet, so there is no span issues here. 2x6s, 24 inches on center. Southern yellow pine number 2. 24 inches on center. Southern yellow pine number 2. Straight out of the code. All right, 14 foot. 11-foot span ratings for using this on both cases, and a pretty simple little spec home. There's not any crazy stuff going on here. This will probably be the most expensive beam in the whole plan because you're carrying like this huge chunk of roof and you're carrying this huge chunk of ceiling. And attic access is over here in the garage, which works out. Oh man, I just had a panic moment because I was like, oh, their attic access door is over a low roof. They can't even get up in their attic, but it's tall over here. So we'd look at the roof and we'd say, well, they're going to get up in the attic right here. And so let's assume they want to store a bunch of stuff over here. And all these walls are nice and close together. So maybe you bump up this section to 2x8s or something, or 2x10s. You could do that if you wanted to give them a nice storage space. Most of the usable storage space is down the center of this house because of this roof. But that's all we got. Thank you guys for joining me on this Rough Frame It Friday. Hope you guys have had a good time. And I will see you guys on the next one. We'll take it out of here with some one and only Green Observer music. Let's do it.
That's the code.